Okay, so recently I stumbled upon this Twitter thread, which I don't even know how this came off my page, but it's very interesting and I haven't seen anybody talking about this. So again, this is from an account which is absolutely random. So take a lot of this information with a grain of salt. And I feel like a lot of this, what they're saying, kind of like goes a little bit too far into like, oh, Hoyoverse are paying people to do stuff, which is kind of crazy and it almost sounds unbelievable. So as I said, whenever we go through this entire thread in this article, none of this information is factual at all. I'm just going through it to see, what they're kind of saying. And I want some like Chinese kind of creators, if anybody is even watching this, to, kind of come through and verify. I'll leave a link down below to the entire thing if you just want to go react to it yourself and kind of like verify what all of this actually means and whether this stuff is actually true, because it is kind of crazy if it is true. We've seen a lot of cases of like a lot of people from games, including Hoyoverse, like for example, the Genshin Impact event where they released some kind of like promotional material to do with cats. And, a person actually ended up going and unaliving them because they looked similar to the cat in the promotion because they hated the character so much, which is kind of crazy. And it seems like we've got a kind of similar situation with some people actually, sending chemicals to people's houses and things like that, which is absolutely crazy. And well, they're saying here that the criminal in China Central television report is Hoyoverse, which is a game that which is a name that they've given them. Sorry. So again, they're going to be constantly referred to as Hoyoverse here. This seems to be a kind of trend in this thread. They say Sichuan police clearly stated the person arrested was Hoyoverse. Netizens respond by asking Genshin to respond to this matter. Hashtag boycott Hoyoverse. Until now, people are still being doxed / cyberbullied by Hoyoverse, which is kind of crazy. And they released this kind of news thing here, which goes on for about like 2 minutes. Again, I'm not Chinese, so I don't know what any of this means at all. So I'd really hope that, some people can actually translate all of this. They're saying that the criminal also doxed his girlfriend and stuff like that, insulting her, causing her to, suffer, and which again is absolutely terrible. And then we keep going, and they say a Arknights gamer named, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but again, an Arknights gamer was sent chemicals by Hoyoverse and are harassed at her home. Hoyoverse said that she had jumped off a building, which again, that's absolutely crazy. And Honkai Staro wrote this into the plot to mock the dead. Genshin also called the arrested Hoyoverse a hero in Genshin's plot. So again, this person is saying that, another person had done all of this horrible stuff, and the Genshin Impact and Honkai Staro are actually mocking the person who died and also kind of praising the person who caused her to do this, which is absolutely crazy. And again, this is something that, Chinese people, I'm sure you guys can actually translate, and this is why we need extra clarity on this. But we can keep going, obviously, into some of the kind of evidence that they give. They say the Arknights player real name is something else, and then, they just end up showing all the doxing stuff, which is absolutely crazy. They say, me, a Hoyoverse, has arrived at Thingy's doorstep, and this is like a picture of them at this person's door, saying they've bought strong acid and stuff like that, which is absolutely crazy. And I'm not going to show that last picture because, again, it's kind of bad. It's literally someone stood on the top of a building, which obviously we know where that's going to go, which is absolutely horrible. And I don't know, like, how much of this is actually true, because a lot of this is very, very crazy. Now, they've also got, like, another post here from a little bit of a while ago, kind of talking about it as well, saying, this is the name of the prisoner arrested by the Chinese police, but Hoyoverse wrote him in as a sacrificed hero. Hoyoverse have done similar things many times. Hoyoverse often taunts players in the game's plot, so Chinese players hate Hoyoverse even more. But there are also many Hoyo stands. So again, what they're kind of saying here is that a lot of the Chinese kind of people don't actually like Hoyoverse that much, which I don't know if that's entirely true. Again, I'm not like the guru on the Chinese kind of community. I feel like Genshin Impact, Hoyoverse in general is kind of enjoyed, but again, maybe that's just from the Hoyoverse kind of, aspect, the Hoyoverse kind of perspective. But honestly, from what I've seen it hasn't been like particularly down, like people haven't like said negative stuff about it. And people haven't particularly said overly positive stuff about it from what I've seen. Now, they say in China, except Hoyostan, people has a negative impression of Genshin, so Mihoyo won't donate or change. Instead, they hired Hoyoverse to threaten gamers who weren't satisfied with Mihoyo. Mihoyo spend money to delete negative news to prevent fines, make Hoyostan believe that Mihoyo is the best game. Which, again, I don't know, again, how entirely true that is. They say they hired this person to go around and threaten these people. I feel like this just isn't a thing that Hoyoverse would do. I feel like this is misinformation. But again, maybe this person is correct. We don't actually know. And, well, this is why I want people to do a little bit more digging on this, because it could be very serious if this is actually true. But, you know, what this person seems to be doing is kind of, you know, making up a ton of claims. And although they are providing some evidence, but like they're not providing some evidence for some other stuff, including the fact that they hired these people, you know? I feel like they don't hire people, you know, Hoyoverse don't hire people to threaten, you know, they don't hire just random people to go around threatening people. Like, that just doesn't seem like a very good business move, does it? And I feel like, you know, maybe some of this is kind of like somewhat factual, but maybe some of it, you know, they're so mad that maybe they're making up a little bit of this stuff. Because again, I feel like that might be a little bit of a stretch. But they go on to say that this is the victim's complaint against Hoyoverse. This is the evidence he used calling for the police. He swears by every word he said is true. He helped other victims call the police. The police in the news are the handled in the case. His video accusing Mihoyo are often deleted. So again, we've got this Billy video of him showing off some paper. They say CCTV reported a new type of cyberbullying, which again, kind of like, you know, adds up to this entire story of this person going around cyberbullying them. And obviously this is from the Arknights Genshin Impact community, which is kind of crazy. And this, you know, I don't know, it came out like quite a while ago on the 14th of July. I think that's July. And again, so maybe it's just a very, very sticky situation because, again, there is a lot of evidence here, but it's also there's a lot of stuff that has been kind of stretched. They say that 2022 to 2023, another person criticized Mihoyo, and the person actually went ahead and doxed her, posted stuff about her on Belly many times, and also went to her doorstep to harass her, and they were arrested. And this is like, they put a ton of like information about this person, and, you know, so them being arrested in their mugshot, everything like that, which again is absolutely crazy. And they say 2020 to 2024, Hoyoverse has always regarded Arknights as an imaginary enemy. If someone is dissatisfied with Genshin, they will say it must be an Arknights gamer and dox and bully. Now, Hoyoverse's enemies are wuwa / Niki. I don't know if they're like like saying like Nikkei or Niki, because I feel like Infinity Niki isn't like a very you know, it's not a game that maybe would kind of rival Genshin Impact. Maybe it is, maybe they are mad at them, but I feel like it's more Nikkei. I think that's what they actually mean because of like the size of it. But hey, maybe they do mean Niki. And they say wuwa creators are also doxed and bullied. So it seems like Wuthering Waves creators are also being, you know, targeted by this person. Again, a lot of this kind of stuff, again, this is another screenshot they put up. It seems like it could be legitimate, but it's more of a thing of people need to do some more kind of diving into this. And again, as I said, I would really love to do this if I knew how to speak Chinese. So this is like a kind of video just kind of saying to a lot of, you know, Chinese people, Chinese creators out there, hey, cover this, because it seems like very interesting. They say Hoyoverse think Genshin is the most popular anime game. In 2019, Arknights was the first. In 2020, Genshin was the first, and Arknights was the second. So Hoyoverse now thinks that it's the most competitive opponent, and Arknights must be killed. And again, they keep going. They say if there's extensive coverage from the mass media, Mihoyo never donate to the Chinese and only donates to Japan. So they're saying that they prefer Japan as well, which again is kind of crazy. So again, that's the entire thread, and I just found this very interesting, you know, because there's been a lot of stuff like this happening in the past of like some kind of shady stuff going on with Hoyoverse fans, which again isn't necessarily because they are Hoyoverse fans. I don't want to like make this into like, oh, Hoyoverse fans are all like deranged and all dumb. No, they're not. You know, I am a Hoyoverse fan technically because I play Honkai Star, I play Zenless, I play some Genshin sometimes, but I used to. And again, I feel like, you know, this is just a kind of situation with this person in particular, and maybe even Mihoyo. But I would really like a lot of Chinese creators, or, you know, people who can understand Chinese in the community to actually get on this, look into it. Again, I'll leave a link to this entire thread down below so you guys can actually look through it and maybe do a little bit more research on it. Because again, it seems like this could be a very bad thing for, you know, Mihoyo in the future if this is true. But like, this has got 58 likes, 4,000 views. But a lot of the other kind of evidence that they do put up, including the Billy videos, do have quite a lot of views, and it does like seem like this could be something legitimate. Like this has got 250,000 views, which feels like, you know, it has been a pretty big thing in China, and maybe this is like something that just didn't really make it over here, you know. Like sometimes there are some, you know, massive trends and stuff that happen in China, which, you know, obviously we don't see over here because, you know, we don't care. But again, maybe this is true, maybe this is untrue. Make up your own opinion. And again, I'll leave the entire thread down below so you guys can take a look at it for yourself. But it is some very, very interesting stuff coming from the Hoyoverse side, and it is disappointing to see that, you know, Wuthering Waves is also included in this as well. You know, people being targeted just for covering Wuthering Waves, or even any of these other games, Nikkei, Arknights, anything like that. It seems like this person definitely has something against Arknights, which again, obviously sucks. It feels like Arknights, you know, they've been picking up a lot of stuff with Enfield lately, and also, you know, the usual game as well. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you think that, you know, this person is just going absolutely insane and they're just making up a ton of stuff? Or have you seen anything about this? Because again, anybody in the comments as well, not even just creators covering it. Let me know in the comments if you guys have heard anything about this, if you've got any more information, and I'll definitely make a full follow-up video on my main channel kind of talking about it, if, you know, anything else does actually come to light. But yeah, overall, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.